At the time of this recording, we are officially 4 weeks and 1 day away from the 2025 Chicago Marathon. I'm so excited, but I'm also really nervous because this is the part of training where everything just starts to feel horrible. I'm talking about peak mileage, peak workouts, peak fatigue, peak stress. Everything just starts to really boil down to these final 4 weeks, and I really start to get kind of panicky. So if you are in the exact same boat as I am, don't worry, this video is going to talk about everything that I do in these following weeks so that I feel as confident as I can when we get to race day. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Juliana, and this video is part of my 2025 Chicago Marathon Training Build series, where I'm taking you behind the scenes and what it's like training in South Florida as I work towards my 2:55 marathon goal. So if you're interested in following along with my journey and learning how I balance marathon training, growing my startup, and working a full-time 9-to-5 corporate job, please make sure to hit that bell button down below and like this video if you like the video. So without further ado, let's hop right into the topic of today's video. So this first part of the video talks about what I personally do to feel as confident as possible going into my taper, and then of course into race week and then race day. So like I said in the beginning of the video, when I'm about 4 weeks out from the race is when my confidence really starts to take a little bit of a dip, because I am just doing all of these really difficult workouts. My mileage is at the peak mileage that it's never been at before, and everything just feels so hard. And especially in South Florida, when it's still kind of hot this time of year, I feel like my paces aren't feeling as easy as they should, given how fit I should be. And that's honestly just because of the cumulative fatigue. So if you're feeling the same way, just know that it is not because you are not fit. It is because you are fit, but you're just tired from weeks and weeks on end of training. So the next thing I do is that I think about all of the recent workouts that I've done where I felt amazing. Like, what were those workouts? I even have a running journal, and I've talked about this in another video, but I do plan on posting a whole separate video covering exactly how I use my running journal. So again, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below so you can get notified when that video comes out. But effectively in my running journal, what I like to do is just take note of what my key workouts have been, especially my marathon pace long runs, and I'll write down if I was feeling amazing on those runs. I like to just keep track of that because all of those different workouts prove as evidence to me that I am capable of hitting those paces, of feeling great on really difficult runs, and just kicking butt when I need to. So I would highly recommend, if you have a few workouts in your mind that are fresh, that you've done really well on, write them down so that when you get to taper time or you get close to your race and you might be doubting yourself, you can go back to your journal entries and just look and see, okay, no, I was actually feeling really good. I was feeling really confident. So this is preparing for future you to make sure that you are in the right mental place. So I love to do this. And then another thing that's really great about doing this, especially when the workouts are fresh in your mind, is that if the workout went really well, you can try to think back on what were the things that might have made that workout go well. What did you eat for dinner the night before? What did you have the morning of your run? What was your fueling strategy throughout the run? Did you warm up? Did you not warm up? Were you able to use the bathroom? Did you foam roll a little bit beforehand? Just making note of all of these different factors can be super helpful so that when you get to race day and you get to other important workouts that we have leading into race day, you are very well aware of what works with your body and what doesn't. So those are just a few things that I like to do so that I can keep record of what those most recent awesome runs were, so that my taper and race day self can remember, oh yeah, I was really strong when I did those marathon pace repeats at 6:45 pace in 85 degrees in the middle of the Florida summer. Okay, so the next thing that I like to do, especially if you're a few weeks out, but you can do this even as soon as a couple days out or even the morning of your race. If you found this and you're a week or a day away from your race and you're not feeling confident and you're like, I need something to help me feel more confident in my race, definitely do step one, what I just talked about. Think back on your recent workouts. It's best obviously to do it when it's fresh in your mind, but if it's not, just try to tap into those feelings. But the second thing that you can do is think of a mantra. I have had the same mantra for my past several marathons, And my mantra, my personal one, is fit, fast, strong. I can't believe I'm sharing this with the entire world. There are just numerous scientific studies that have proven the power of positive thinking, particularly when you are in a difficult and challenging endurance event. When you have positive thoughts, that helps you actually push yourself more. And it seems obvious, but having something that you can fall back on when things are tough can really make a difference. So this is something that my cross-country coaches taught me when I was just a wee little high school 14-year-old runner. But since then, anytime, and I do struggle with a lot of negative thinking just in my life in general, but in running for some reason, I feel like I'm able to kind of separate my negative thoughts from my body. When I encounter tough moments, I don't even let my mind think that not achieving it is a possibility. I just go straight to my mantra when things get tough. And I've just programmed my brain this way. So the good news is that if you are a few weeks out from your marathon and you do have a few tough workouts coming up, when you start to have those negative thoughts, come up with a mantra that you can fall back on that reinforces how strong and how powerful you are. And even if you don't feel that way, just the fact that you are out there and you showed up on a day when you may not have been feeling awesome is proof to yourself. So think of something, and I find that just having 3 words is helpful for me personally because I don't have to think about it. I don't have to pep talk myself in the middle of my race. I can literally just think, fit, fast, strong, fit, fast, strong. And that's enough to reinforce that I can do it. So something like that might help you, I think could really be a game changer if you've never tried it before. Oh, we do have an appearance from Nathan. Nathan has been on my lap for this entire video. He loves hanging out here. He's so sweet. Okay, he's moving. Okay, so this next piece of the puzzle is more about having a plan for race day so that you can feel confident and stress-free when you are going into your taper week and then race week. Make sure if you are traveling to your race that you have all of those travel logistics coordinated, and then also restaurants. Make sure you have your restaurants booked, particularly for the couple days before the race and particularly the night before your race. And then the next thing is that at this point, about 3 or 4 weeks out, you should have kind of like a ballpark idea of what your marathon pace should be. So you can start thinking about what your race day plan might be if we get a, knock on wood, good weather race day. So this is what I like to do. I like to start thinking about what is that effort going to feel like? What is my strategy going to be? I usually have the same exact strategy for all of my marathons pretty much, but being comfortable with what those times are is something that I personally struggle with because hopefully, again, knock on wood, I'll have a pretty big PR, but those numbers kind of stress me out because I've been training in Florida with 6:45s as my marathon pace, and for Chicago, I'm probably gonna have to be doing a lot of 6:30, 6:35 miles in the actual marathon, and I need to feel comfortable with those paces, and I suggest that you do the same. If you're going for a big PR and you haven't been running those paces because you live somewhere that's extremely hot and humid or the conditions don't allow it for whatever reason, don't let yourself get freaked out about how fast those times are. You can do it. Have a race day plan so you know what paces to fall back on if you start out a little too hot, but you kind of just want to figure that all out now. And part of that race day plan as well includes making sure that you know exactly what you are going to be wearing and exactly what you are going to be eating the morning of the race. And I know that it's common sense, but sometimes, myself included, I forget to plan my outfit. Not forget, I always want to wear something new, and then I'm scrambling at the last second, and then I end up wearing the same singlet that I've worn for like the past 8 marathons. So if you do want to wear a new outfit of any sort, try to get that sorted out beforehand so you don't have any chafing surprises or any other unpleasant surprises on race day, because that would suck. I like to test out my outfit multiple times down to the socks, so I would recommend doing that for a few long runs. One thing that I actually really like to do is a dress rehearsal marathon pace run, And I really treat all of my marathon pace long runs kind of like this, where I try to start around the time that the Chicago Marathon would start. It's difficult in Florida, again, because it gets so hot and humid, and it's hard to start a long run anytime after 6 a.m. unless you literally want to melt and die and fry. But basically doing some sort of dress rehearsal run where you eat your exact race day meal the night before or something close to it, your race day breakfast for sure. You practice your fueling strategy, you wear your exact race day outfit, and you ideally try to start around the same time that you would for your actual race. So that's always a great tip to just practice and get a little nervous for it so you know what it feels like getting a little bit nervous on race day, and know that it's a welcome feeling and it'll hopefully pump you to excellence and not to running to a porta potty. So let me know if you have any other things that you like to focus on specifically during this 3 to 4 week out period when we get close to our marathon race day. I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. And for now, check out this video for some more tips, and I'll see you guys in the next one.